Every day, we generate mountains of searchable, immediately accessible data. We have built endless repositories of facts and content, yet modern leadership is starved for insight and sound judgment. For a long time, we treated the possession of knowledge as the ultimate asset. But as information becomes cheap and abundant, simply having it is no longer enough to maintain an advantage. The crises we face today do not remain in one shape. Whether it is a market shift, a social tension, or a leadership hurdle, the problems mutate. They change in scale, in density, and in their underlying complexity over time. This is why a perfect answer from 3 years ago becomes a limitation today. Captured knowledge is trapped in the moment of its discovery. As systems evolve, static solutions lose their power. We can visualize this trap as horizontal knowledge. This plane represents an accumulation spreading across facts, events, and records. It informs you of what happened, but it lacks the depth required to change what happens next. To navigate change, we have to cultivate vertical knowing. This is the conscious, elastic process of piercing through the noise to reinterpret data against present and future realities. Solving a modern crisis means abandoning the horizontal spread of raw data. The question is no longer, what do you know? The necessary question is, can what you know still work right now? To make this shift, Prince Dickson proposes a framework called the spectrum of knowing. This is a mental operating system designed for navigating high-stakes complexity. The baseline layer is knowledge. It is the necessary body of recorded facts and observations available to us. But we have to recognize its limits. Knowledge describes reality, but it cannot discern it. The next layer down is understanding. This occurs when information is processed, personalized, and adapted to fit a specific reality. Understanding forces general truths to become specific. Its core function is to look at a data point and answer what it means right here, right now, for this exact situation. Breaking through to the understanding layer marks the movement from merely holding information to generating value from it. Then we reach the third layer, wisdom. Wisdom goes deeper than understanding because it governs response and action under conditions of severe consequence. This diagram shows the architecture of wisdom. It relies on 4 internal operational structures to maintain its stability. First is reverence, the humility to accept that reality is larger than personal opinion. Next is discernment, the filtering mechanism that separates the signal from the surrounding noise. Then comes judgment, which evaluates consequences based on pattern recognition. And finally, decision, the courage to commit to a specific course of action. Remove these elements, and the structure collapses. Without reverence, wisdom becomes arrogance. Without discernment, it devolves into confusion. Lose judgment, and it turns into sentiment. Without decision, it remains theory. The highest expression on the spectrum is revelation. This provides insight that reaches forward, allowing us to engage with reality as it is actively becoming, rather than just as it is today. Revelation is not guesswork. It is a directional force. It is the foresight that gives pioneers and elite leaders their ability to move accurately ahead of the visible evidence. Access to data is now democratized. Because of this, information overload provides no competitive edge. Insight is the true advantage. For individuals, mastering this spectrum provides a cure for information addiction. It forces a transition away from endless scrolling and toward growth driven by insight. For organizations, it forces a structural pivot. Teams, stop confusing data abundance with strategic clarity, improving the quality of decisions made under ambiguity. At the national scale, the spectrum provides a tool for reading patterns, diagnosing structural realities, and building leverage in a volatile world. Transformation never happens because a leader managed to memorize more facts. It happens because they developed the capacity to know better. We have to stop worshiping raw data. The endless collection of facts is a trap. The value is found in intelligent processing. Knowledge captures the past. The mastery of knowing is what determines what must be born next.